Today we're going to test MoldStar 20T from Smooth-On. It's a silicone that's great for mold making. It's super stretchy. You don't have to vacuum degas it. And we're going to find out all of its strengths and all of its weaknesses. We're going to start out by making a mold of this old phone here. So I'm just covering up the holes with some Scotch tape so that silicone doesn't leak in there. And I'm going to use some acrylic strips that I laser cut for my mold box. Always wear gloves, if you can. You'll need 2 cups because MoldStar 20T is a 2-part 1-to-1 ratio that you mix by hand. Now, like I said, you don't have to vacuum degas it, so this is a really great material for beginners. The pot life is 6 minutes, so I basically have about 4 minutes to stir it and 2 minutes to pour it. I see a lot of bubbles going in, but Smooth-On promises that I don't need to vacuum degas it, and honestly there's no time to anyway. This is a platinum silicone that cures in 30 minutes. Hey, by the way, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more material tests and prop building techniques. This is my favorite part of making a mold. I did not use a release, and this silicone comes off so easily. So even though there are a bunch of bubbles in the silicone, none of them made it to the surface, so it's not going to interfere with my casting. And since this is such a tough silicone, I don't expect those bubbles to pop anytime soon, so I think we're good. And now we're just going to make a bunch of little silicone bits that we can put through our durability test. And I also want to test some cheap silicone colorant with it because it's a translucent color and I want to see how well it takes this colorant. So far, I think it looks really good. I've let it set for 30 minutes now, so let's see how well it comes out of the mold. Oh, it peels up really nicely. Again, bubbles on the inside, but not on the surface. I can already tell this is very stretchy and very durable. I really love how opaque this mango color is. It really took that colorant really well. Let's do a stretch test. Holy cow, this stuff is really stretchy. And there are no signs of it breaking. At this point, it's like a resistance band. It's really hard to stretch any further. And it finally lets go at 15 inches. That's 250% its initial size. That's pretty impressive. Now we're gonna see how far we can squeeze it. It started out at 1/4 of an inch. Wow, it is squeezing really thin. That's down to about a 1/16 of an inch. That's 25% of its original thickness. How much can we twist it? At this point, I've already twisted more than I thought I could, and it's still going with no signs of stopping. For sure, all of this abuse has caused some sort of damage or deformation to this piece. Let's check it out and see what happened. Wow, there is barely a mark at all. Like, I really can't even tell that I put it through that much abuse. I want to show you a good view of those bubbles that I was talking about. These are all just on the inside. They really don't affect any cast parts though. Silicone is known for taking a good amount of heat. So let's see if this is any different. This heat gun is set to 650 degrees and I'm holding it pretty close. So visually, I don't see any difference. So let's see what kind of heat dissipation properties it has. I can feel the heat right about halfway. It's just kind of warm to the touch. Just how hot can it go? This propane torch goes about 3.5 times hotter than that heat gun. Let's see what happens if we try to burn it. I actually did not expect this. It is burning. And the ends are looking kind of like a toasted marshmallow. Cutting silicone is usually pretty easy, but this is so rubbery, I just wanted to see how well it cuts. And I was a bit surprised to see that it cuts very, very smoothly. Now I'm doing a couple passes with the knife just so I can get a nice clean cut. And here's another surprising part. It's holding on by a thread, and that thread is strong. I thought that I'd be able to just tear the corner off, but it's not tearing at all. So this gives me another idea for a test. I'm gonna make a little incision right here in the middle, and I'm gonna see if I can tear it open and basically pull it apart at the incision, or at least tear the hole wider. This silicone is incredibly tough. I mean, it is literally taking all of my strength and it's doing nothing. Like I mentioned before, this is a platinum cure silicone, and platinum silicones are known for being very picky about what kind of surfaces they're poured onto. And sometimes it just won't cure on a certain surface. So I'm pouring this silicone all over these different materials to see which ones cause cure inhibition. First material here is a flexible, transparent PVC sheeting, and it worked really well. Here's some high temperature PET tape, and that worked really well also. No problems. Now we have EPDM weather stripping. This one I did not expect to do well, and it did better than I thought. I expected a gooey mess, but I'm actually able to peel most of it up. There is a little bit left over on the weather stripping, and the silicone itself is very tacky and wouldn't work for a mold for sure. So I would not recommend this. Now we've got aluminum, and as I expected, it worked just perfect. And same with the brass. Peeled right up, it would make a great mold making material for brass. copper worked really well also. There was no problems. Picked up all the details just fine. And now we've got vinyl. It's about the same as the EPDM. It's a little tacky, it didn't properly set up right, and it left a little bit of residue on the vinyl itself. The nitrile was even worse. Though I was able to peel it up, it left a gooey puddle on the nitrile. So do not use nitrile gloves when handling this platinum cure silicone. That would be disastrous. Here we've got an EPDM hose. These are used for suction or spray applications, and it left a gooey mess with this silicone. The vinyl tubing went pretty well, although my vinyl tube came right up off my board. And the silicone tubing, again, went better than I thought. I thought maybe I would have either a big gooey mess or it would adhere to the tubing, but neither happened. It was just kind of tacky at the end. This is polypropylene. It's tubing that you would use for water transfer applications, and it went really well. However, the rigid PVC, like the pipes in your house, did not go well. It was very tacky and did not cure properly. The nickel, like the other metals, went really well, no problems. Although the silicone did seep under the nickel and make it very hard to peel up at first. But this would be a great mold making material for duplicating metal objects. I did not think that it would work well on the galvanized steel. I thought the galvanized coating would interact with the silicone and we would have some sort of goopy pile of nasty mess. However, it actually cured, and it seems like you could use this as a mold-making silicone for galvanized objects. The wood I expected to go well, and it did. Wood, you're super boring. Thanks for being so predictable. EVA foam, like the bottom of a cheap dollar store sandal, works perfectly fine, just like you'd expect. And this chunk of neoprene worked really well also. This happens to be neoprene weather stripping, but you could also, make a mold of your wetsuit for whatever reason. Just like the nitrile, the latex was one of the worst. So don't use nitrile gloves, don't use latex gloves when you're mixing this platinum cure silicone. Make sure you're using something like vinyl gloves like I am here. This butyl rubber was also one of the worst. Both of them left just a puddle of uncured silicone goop. I decided to throw two more materials in at the last second, so this one's not labeled, but it's a natural rubber eraser, and it worked. And this one here is a tin cure silicone that is actually Mold Max 40 from Smooth On. And I was super surprised to see that it worked. It's a little tacky, but I bet you with a little baby powder, it would probably be just fine. Okay, time to tally up the score. As far as price, at $1.59 an ounce, I would say this is just okay. Platinum cure silicones are known for being expensive, and this is definitely the case here. But you get what you pay for. Check out all the 10s on the other lines. As far as instructions go, Smooth On is always one of the best. They give you all kinds of tips and tricks and data to use. It's really phenomenal how much they give you. Durability is a solid 10, as you saw. This stuff is like virtually indestructible. It's crazy. Flexibility, another 10. I could stretch it, twist it, bend it, pull it, cut it, and then stretch it. This stuff held up to every challenge I gave it. Heat resistance, it handled heat really, really well. It dissipated it, and it even took the flame without actually catching fire. And as far as being bubble-free, I'm giving it a 7 because it was absolutely not bubble-free. However, the bubbles did not really interfere with anything that I was trying to do with a mold. Now, as far as simplicity goes, you really can't get much simpler than this. It's a 1-to-1 by volume or weight. There's no vacuum degassing. I mean, it's really just super easy stuff to work with. Interactivity, well, what I'm talking about here is how does it interact with other materials. And as you saw, there's a number of materials that it just won't cure on top of, and it leaves that goopy mess. However, I'm giving it a few extra points here because I was able to pour it directly onto the tin cure silicone and it didn't adhere to it and it cured up. So it gets bonus points for that. So I'm giving it a solid 8. And tinting, hey, it took the tint, it took it well. It was a nice, opaque, solid color. It looked wonderful, and it didn't take a whole lot of tint to do that. So I'm giving it a solid 10 on that. So to sum it all up, Moldstar 20T is a pretty expensive platinum cure silicone, but well worth the price in almost every way. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more material tests.